Welcome to Modified Fate. We're talking Marvel Crisis Protocol for a change. We'll be back to Malifaux eventually, but we're going to be talking about MCP quite a bit. I have Blackcraft with me and Wheelman,
Hello.
Hello.
and we're going to go through a recent tournament from last week. Blackcraft, would you like to start?
Sure. So do we want to do this like round by round for each of us?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Or so I can give you my basic list. And I know if anybody's listening, um this was before all the errata happened.
Yeah, it
That just
happened the
happened,
day before the
literally.
tournament, I think.
So we played without it since it was short notice. Yeah, because my Spider Foes list here would have been changed, I think, quite a bit. But I played basically Spider Foes. Um, I got. Do we want to go through the whole list or just give a general?
Oh, they can read it. I have it pulled up.
Oh, all right. Actually, I think that list is wrong. I did play a
Okay.
slightly different list. Because I remember thinking something's different. This isn't right. Let me look at it real quick on the screen. Like I'm not playing Sandman. I think the difference I'm playing is instead of Sandman, I'm playing Baron Zemo. And that's
Yeah.
really the only difference, other than I am a Baron after all, instead of This Is Our Day, and I'm playing Eyes on the Prize instead of Neogenic Recombinator. And I think everything else is the same. But that's my list. It's a pretty bog standard list as far as spider foes goes. Um, Doc Ock, Electro, Rhino, of course, Lizard, Craven, and then basically I opt for Juggernaut in my 5-point slot. And Zemo's kind of a flex, and then my 2-drop slot I got Wong. Because I was still playing him with advanced R&D for powering up my dudes. That combo is dead now. Um, so I guess do we want to go this round by round?
Yeah, let's go round by round. You
So
played
my first round
Brotherhood first
was,
round?
yeah, and he was new, and he was new to his team in general. Let's see. I played Doc Ock, Rhino, Lizard, Juggernaut, and Wong. And then I brought Brace for Impact, Advanced R&D, Exceptional Healing, This is the Robbery, and Do You Know Who I Am? He played Magneto, Juggernaut, Blob, and Mr. Sinister.
Damn.
So we had a Juggernaut mirror match, basically, which was fun because basically the Juggernauts started running directly towards each other and then literally went to the opposite sides of the board. So they did not want to mess. I imagine that would have been unfun to
Yeah,
just slam the
basically
same dice.
stalemate in the middle.
um, I won pretty handily. He didn't really understand, I think, some of the nuances, and he was playing Mr. Sinister, who people are pretty down on. The weird thing was he was playing Magneto, and he kept throwing his pylons instead of using them to like slowly gain power,
Oh yeah, that's
which was
weird.
weird. Um, so he admitted he was learning. Um,
Yeah, I
and
guess I should say we're all still pretty new to the game, but he was brand new, I guess you'd say.
yeah, exceptionally new. Um, really no notes because I won pretty handily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because he was learning. He didn't quite. I was trying to help him through some of the things. He didn't know what his own Juggernaut did, so I kind of did that. Rhino did his job. He actually threw Blob with "This is a Robbery" and picked up a hammer.
Solid.
So that's basically. It's not a super special match. I mean, it was versus a new guy, so it was more like teaching him what to do
Yeah.
as much as it was me playing the game competitively.
Yeah. Do you think This Is a Robbery is still going to be good at cost 4?
Yeah. No, it is. I think different teams run it. I think Doc Ock, obviously Spider Foes and Sinister, or what is it? Crime Syndicate, since Rhino's in team for them, are
Yeah.
still going to have him. He's still good. It's just his action economy is slightly slow. His steal isn't as easy to do.
Hey, did you know that also throws people?
Yeah, I threw people every time. Did you?
No, I did not throw a single person.
Yeah, it's actually better than that.
All right, Wheelman, you had Stephanie in round 1, it looks like.
Yes.
Talk
So
about your
I'll start by
list and
saying,
everything. Yep.
yeah. I'm probably, I've played a little bit longer than you have, but as far as a number of games, I think you have probably double the games I have. So
Hmm.
I think going into this whole thing, I was probably on the start of the tournament was probably my 4th real game.
Oh, okay.
So I had a decent grasp on the rules, but I was sort of in the same, I guess, learning vein because I made some critical errors. But I was playing Winter Guard, which is probably error 1. They're just a little flat. But I was playing all the standard Winter Guard keyword, minus the 2-threat Black Widow because I don't have her. So I had the 4-threat Black Widow from the second core set in my roster, as well as Crossbones and Bob and Deadpool. So round 1 played into Stephanie. She's also fairly new. We had a pretty good game. We went to time plus, I know, and the second to last turn, there wasn't really much of a comeback to be made. But I think I played Dynamo, Omega Red, Red Guardian, Winter Soldier, Bob, and Deadpool into her. She was playing like the street level Daredevil list.
Yeah, Defenders. Yep.
Defenders, yeah. And funnily enough, Daredevil did almost nothing the whole game. He kind of she didn't really know how Bob worked, and she wasted a couple activations trying to remove him, which is if you don't activate him, it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
So he just sat on the back objective and stayed there the whole game. Shot his rocket first activation. He took a chunk out of, I want to say, Venom, one of her beefier guys. And then I ran Omega Red up, and he was dishing out poison tokens. It's pretty fond of him overall on the day. But it was pretty back and forth. I dazed her magic, like second activation with Deadpool, I believe, or it was either Deadpool or Winter Soldier.
The magic that won the painting contest.
That's the one. Yep. Yeah, I think I hit her pretty hard with Bucky's 5 range, because she ran her right up the board to the middle objective on that side.
Yeah,
the board basically
like 2 physical defense, so yeah, she
didn't have much to stop it, and the rolls were a little cold to start too. But it was basically, from my point of view, on my right hand side, it was Deadpool and Bucky squaring off against Magic and Wolverine. Down the middle, we had Venom, Wong. Who else did she have? There was one other, and I had Crimson Dynamo and Omega Red running up the middle. Bob stayed in the back, just sat on the point. And then she had Daredevil sort of doing his own thing off on the left hand side. But yeah, the middle play was nice. Dynamo's pretty good no matter what. And his beam is really good, especially in a line. So I had more than one turn with multiple shots into people. But yeah, just objective sort of got away from me. Wolverine came over and killed Bucky and Deadpool pretty much right away.
Oh, damn.
Wasn't much I could do to stop him, it felt like. And I think Bucky survived Wolverine actually, but he didn't survive, or he wasn't able to do anything else. But he was very low. Basically, by the time we got to when he called time and the finishing the turn we were on, it was pretty much a concede on my part. She had just outscored me, and there was not much of a comeback to be had.
Gotcha.
But it was close for the most part. Again, probably focused too much on KOing as opposed to getting on the point and trying to hold those. But props to her. It was a good matchup, and I didn't feel like we had too many feel bads. You know, it was just a good back and forth, and it sort of got away from me at one point, and there wasn't much of a comeback.
Yeah. And then I did not enter my list on the website, but my first game was against Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, and I had Two Threat and Tasha, Rocket and Groot, Dormammu, and Rhino. Dormammu doing Dormammu things. Steve was playing Black Order. He was Corvus as leader, Proxima, Supergiant, Black Swan, and Ebony Maw. I was getting ahead pretty handily early on, and then he went to throw a Sentinel at me, and then we realized it was size 5. So that didn't happen. And then I ran to the corners for my last 3 points with the people holding the extracts. Steve was very new as well.
Do.
Yeah. And then I'll just go right into round 2 because I played Stephanie. She was playing Daredevil. I dazed her Ghost Rider on the turn 1, and then that pretty much sealed that deal because it was on like a T-shaped objective. So Zemo grabbed one extract on one side, Lizard grabbed the other, then Dormammu was in the middle with the third extract, also sitting on the point, and then I had Rocket and Groot also, who were just doing their thing. I should mention, game 1, my Rocket actually did damage with Deadly Duo for the first time in what seems like forever. He failed to do that in this game.
He only has one target.
Yeah.
Because we played that game with your Rocket and Groot like 3 or 4 times, and every time it's like Rocket decides not to.
Yeah, it's always like 3 or 4 blanks and 2 or 3 skulls every attack. It's bananas. But I think it was turn 2. I scored every point I could, so I scored 7, and then got way ahead, and she was losing models pretty quickly. That was the match that we had the Sanctum Sanctorum right in the middle of the board.
Rough.
I also learned that you can go over 16 points. Didn't know that.
Yeah, if you effectively, if you have a tie or you score more than 16 at the end of the round, right?
Yeah. So that round that I scored 7, it put me at 11, and then I scored 2 or 3, and then the last round I scored up to 19.
Disgusting.
And then Jared got my opponent from round 1.
Yeah, I played into the Steve. He was, like you said, he was fairly new. He had probably one less game under his belt than I did. But that Black Order list was a lot to chew through. I think he played Ebony Maw into me. It was Ebony, Supergiant, Corvus, and Corvus's sister.
Proxima. His
Proxima.
wife. I'm sure
Yeah,
it was Proxima.
wife. Sorry. So it was 4v4. I played into him Dynamo, Omega Red, Ursa Major, and I think it was Dark Star. That sounds right. But yeah, we went 4v4. Had a pretty tight game overall. I ended up sneaking that one out at the end. I just did a better job controlling the objectives, I guess. I did have a pretty at the start of the game, I ran Omega up to start giving out poison tokens, and on Ebony Maw's activation, he threw a building into me or something, and basically on Ebony Maw's activation, I rolled however many health Omega Red is 6. I probably rolled. I basically on 2 rolls of defense rolled nothing, and he got dazed on Ebony's first attack.
Damn.
Or first go. I just roll. I had 6 blanks essentially in Ebony's 3 attacks. Because he threw something and then, he just messed me up. So Omega was down pretty quick. But Darkstar and Dynamo were pretty much the MVPs of that one. Darkstar moving around, grabbing stuff. I like the 3 power teleport.
Yeah.
It comes in. It can come in clutch every once in a while.
And Dynamo on 15 threat sounds awful to play against.
He did some work. I think I actually broke out a rocket barrage for the first time because I typically don't use it, but the no line of sight is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Although there wasn't much terrain left because Ebony was just throwing it at everybody.
Yeah, that's what he does.
But yeah, I took out Glaive and Proxima mid game, and then it just came down to I believe it was Dynamo and Darkstar and Supergiant and Ebony. And I just sort of got the distance and held on for dear life. Ursa actually did some work. I think my defense rolls from Omega went to Ursa because there was a couple, I think 2 activations, probably a total of 4 attacks where Ursa just didn't take a single wound. It was just a good round. But yeah, squeaked that one out. I forced it to 15. It was either 15 or 18, I believe. And I didn't want to see Thanos.
18.
I didn't want to see Thanos. So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, as the threat for the team. So I forced it to 15, and I just played some of my chunkier guys into his chunkier guys. But yeah, it was a good one overall, and I think he's going to keep going. He had quite a bit of stuff too. So
yeah, I think he was talking about convocation or something next time, something like that.
But yeah, so I'm sure I'll be seeing him plenty, and we'll be learning at the same rate. So, but yeah, overall good round, and squeaked it out.
And then Blackcraft.
Sorry about that. I got a tantrum in the room next door. So I'm having to run back and forth. So I apologize if I am short with my breakdown here. Round 2, I played Crop, who is not here with us today.
He's still alive, to be clear.
It did have a bit of a finality to it.
Yeah. Which was a pretty good game. Let's see. I played Awk, Rhino, Lizard, Craven, Mysterio, and Baron Zemo. He played Cable, Sabretooth, Deadpool, Beast, X-23, and Honey Badger. So we both went pretty wide. Both had brace. Both had exceptional healing. I had robbery. We played Hammers and Syndicate, I think it was, which I keep playing apparently in random games. The biggest thing was really early. He ran his Sabretooth up, double runned him to get one of the hammers. So my Rhino immediately ran up, hit him. This is a robbery'd him, took the hammer, and then threw Sabretooth. So it was a steal on turn 1. Pulled ahead. Turn 2, he threw a truck at Zemo, and I was like, I could have braced it, but I chose not to because I was like, surely I can roll 1 dice of defense on this with a reroll because I have a reroll. And then I didn't, and Zemo went down in 1 shot. So it was still competitive after that because we started trading characters. Eventually I got rid of Cable. And then he started trading, but basically he started to pull ahead. We would have went 1 more round, but time got called. The next round I was feeling confident, but since time got called, basically I said, I got my lizard activate. If my lizard does nothing, I basically concede. And lizard flubbed all his rolls. The only other thing was I had some kill shots on Sabretooth with Zemo, and Sabretooth was with 1 health left, and I completely forgot Zemo can reroll with Master Swordsman. So it was just a little bit of mistakes and time crunch, but it was actually more competitive than it looks. It just a little bit of dice at the very end and time being called.
Yeah, I think I watched your round 3 on, and you were up when I sat down at the table.
Yeah. So like if you concede and your opponent isn't at 14 or above, they go to 14 for tiebreakers. So they get to score 14. So that's basically what happened. Because it was a little closer than that at the end there. But yeah, it really was a pretty competitive match, and we know it pretty well. So I was confident if we had another round, I probably would have won, but it just didn't happen. So that's just a tournament thing.
His Gabby rolls incredibly well. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, yeah. So his honey badger, his Gabby, for whatever reason, hates me. Of the like 2 or 3 times I played against that Gabby, she has what, a 4 dice attack?
Yeah.
And
he
she'll
had
end up
7 hits on one of his attacks.
yeah, on one of his basic attacks on his gainer. So it's like, okay, that's not cool. Just god awful luck. And thing is, it happened earlier in that game too. Like she rolled all 5 hits or whatever. So I mean, there's nothing I could do against that. But I mean, that said, the dice weren't really that swingy with her exception. It was still a pretty close game.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys got paired in the final round.
We did.
We did. How do we want to break this down? Do you want to?
I mean, I got pointed out on round 3.
Yeah. So you
7 or
started
8.
really hot. We got friendly fire, and you started really hot, and you stunned. Let's see, I got it down here.
I
had
I hit the pagoda with an airstrike and I dazed 2 people.
yeah, I was playing Ankh Lizard, Craven, Zemo, Electro. You were playing Dynamo, Deadpool, Ursa, Darkstar, and Crossbones.
Mm-hmm.
Really early, I played Zemo, burned Eyes, and I'm a Baron to go steal your side extract and then run away.
Yep.
And so basically started that early, but then basically over the next round, who was it? Craven got dazed, Zemo got dazed, Ock got dazed, with little strike back. Then round 3, I think it was, I had priority activated, and then just everything fell in my favor, and I stunned. What was it? Dynamo, Deadpool, Ursa.
Yep.
Like off. So I burned Surprise Webhead, and that's how a combination of that is how I got those 3. And then I started spreading out with everybody else, grabbed all the points. You brought in Darkstar. She had an extract. I managed to stun her. Seal that extract, and I got 8 on the nose to steal the game.
Definitely felt like a robbery.
Yeah, oddly enough, I
Or a
didn't
mugging.
oddly enough, didn't play this as a robbery, but no, because it was just like the perfect storm of events, right? I got all the perfect dazes. And really the only X factor was, does he walk Darkstar over, or do you walk away and you walk over to try and stay on the point? And then I got the days off.
Well, I tried to get on the point and either daze or KO Lizard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 1 damage off of whatever it was I was trying to do.
Yeah, and really
And
that's
just how that game went for me.
Yeah, that was it, because you got no dazes that round, so everybody could move and start grabbing points.
Yep.
Because it's that
And I was down 3 activations, so there was quite literally nothing I could do.
Yeah, it was the meteors. So as long as people are dazed, you just pay to flip them to your team, and that's what happened there. So really, and it was just the perfect amount of points, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it was a brutal. Yeah, it was
really
a mugging.
after days in 3 and round 1, nothing else happened for me. So it was quite awful to be on the receiving end of, but that's just how that goes, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I keep saying I got incredibly lucky, because like as I saw the plan coming together, I was like, okay, I need to get really lucky on this. Oh look, it's kind of happening, and then I just saw it and went for it. So that was game.
Yep.
Yep. And then I was on the final table against these Michigan guys that came down.
Ooh.
They have quite the rating on Longshanks. 445.
Yeah, dude.
They're the only experienced players that were here. But I played against Avengers, against Dean. I was up the entire game into the final round. So I played Rhino, Dormammu, Rocket and Groot, and Zemo, I believe. So the Hulk jumps in, tries to daze Dormammu, but I push him away, and that obviously takes him out of range of Dormammu. And then he learned what Hex was, which is surprising given how many games he's played. But so I'm whittling down the Hulk, and then he eventually dazes Dormammu. On the left side of the board, it's just Rhino versus Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. And Rhino's winning that fight for most of the game. Had I known or read the card, I would have thrown Steve off of the point at one point. And that would have swung this game quite a bit. So he eventually dazes Dormammu, and then I learned what the Iron Man space laser is. He rolled a 27 dice attack on Dormammu, and Dormammu died.
Insane.
So then he eventually started scoring more points, getting it closer. I think it was 10 to 12 my lead going into the final round. And then Rhino scored his extract, and everybody else I had was either dead or dazed. So he won 13-16.
Well, at least you know you get to throw with Rhino now.
Yeah. He did say that he was outside with his son. His son got second place. Wondering how to play into Dormammu. Because nobody plays Dormammu, apparently. But he had the counters. He had Beta Ray Bill in his list and the Space Laser. So he had a plan for it. He just didn't know it.
Yeah, I mean, 27 dice will take down anything, right?
Yeah, as long as you can get me to flip.
Yeah. Won't take down Bob.
That's true.
I feel like you won if they have to space laser your Bob.
That'd be pretty
Kind of
awesome.
fun.
Imagine a world.
Yeah, that space laser is quite absurd. I was on the receiving end of it the other night.
Oh, yeah. Blackcraft's
Was
playing
it
Shield
18,
now.
18 dice attack or something like that?
That's sort of my post. When I post this tournament, I was playing Spider Foes. Is that I was mostly into Spider Foes because I like my Spider Foes, but they're not my I'm moving. I'm gonna try something different basically for whatever the next event we're going to.
And then Wheelman, you tried Sentinels out once, but are you staying with them or trying something else now?
I mean, I bought them, so I'm gonna try them for a while. But I mean, that was my first in the it was a digital game too at that. So there was a couple things I would have played different, knowing how they synergize together for sure. I just sort of threw them out there and experienced them. But
why does Cassandra Nova not have a throw?
It's a great question. If anybody from AMG is listening to this, give her a freaking throw.
There's a whole movie now with her in it that will make you think that she can throw things.
Yeah, maybe. A really powerful psychic being could, throw a light post at somebody or something. Or move a really painful cargo container out of the way. That would literally open the game wide open just for one cargo container. But yeah, I think I guess my takeaway from Winter Guard is I probably won't play them again.
Dynamo's better as a splash. Yeah,
Dynamo's great. I think Omega Red is probably pretty great too.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not great when you don't roll a single block, but nobody is. But the poison aura basically is really powerful, and then when they have poison tokens, it's damaging them, and just there's a lot you can do there. Darkstar is sort of a sneaky utility piece. Like I said, her mobility and stuff. And being able to like pluck somebody from range 3 and put them range 3 from where they are. or from her. I forget how it works, but she can do it to herself or somebody within range 3. Comes in clutch. You can just basically zap somebody out of a sticky situation.
Yeah.
But she is very power hungry, so she struggles with that a lot. Because I think on her gainer, it's just a gain 1 after the completion of the attack. She doesn't gain equal to damage dealt. So,
Gotcha.
Red Guardian, he's pretty not great. Just I don't know. Maybe I'm not using him right, but he just feels like a letdown when I play him. He'll get some fun stuff in every once in a while. You get a shield ricochet, but nothing that really pops out. Ursa Major, I feel the same way. Just kind of a dud.
Mm-hmm.
And I only played one game with Bucky so far, so I can't really pass judgment. The range 5 suit is pretty nice. Didn't get Black Widow out. Crossbones, I don't know why I keep playing him. I just sort of like him. He's got some utility and he shrugs damage pretty well. Bob's Bob. His bazooka either, it goes one of two ways. And Deadpool, I haven't quite figured him out yet. He sort of feels, for me so far, he's just felt squishy. And even whether I wait to activate him or not, he just seems to get knocked around and pretty much beat up all the time. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just because he draws a lot of attention or what, but he doesn't hang around for me.
He got a lot worse with the exceptional healing change too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exceptional. I mean, that's a big thing about this tournament is that it was the last hurrah for a bunch of cards.
Mm-hmm. Like
so
Smash
a lot
with
of the
Dormammu.
Yeah, I lost advanced AD&D. And then exceptional robbery. That's 3 cards out of my list right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I only played the Winter Guard specific ones, so I didn't have exceptional healing or anything like that in my list.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've had Dormammu die. I've only played like 10 games, I think, now. So I'm moving on to Convocation for a little bit. I also have bought a few more models than that.
A few?
You mean you have a few left to buy?
Yeah.
He's got to buy all the terrain.
I'm sure Blackcraft still owns more than I do.
I don't know. I think you've caught up because I haven't bought anything for a while. I just bought some units to get into Shield here.
You don't have a Gwenpool, do you?
I don't.
Okay, I asked him
On my
the
wish
question
list,
earlier when
but
you were away.
no, she's on the wish list, but I don't have her. Especially now that I'm trying to do Shield stuff.
Is she Shield?
No, she's just on my general wish list.
Who does she?
Because I buy spider people, spider related villains and heroes.
A Force. Oh, she's Avengers, not Shield. That's what I was thinking.
But she good, apparently.
Yep.
She's got good stats. She'll make a splash. She's worth looking into.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the new models and stuff coming out that you guys are looking forward to?
Well, if I didn't just start buying Shield, my plan is to jump into Apocalypse once we get all the info for him.
I'm really looking forward to like Mephisto and Man Thing and Frankenstein, all those guys. I think that'll be a cool faction.
I hope some of them are Midnight Suns.
I also think Maverick and Weapon X could be cool.
Yeah, they do look cool.
And you guys have both picked up the Namor box, so I'd be interested to try Namor. He just looks good.
He was eating my lunch money yesterday.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, he got dazed really quick, but then once he got rolling, he started being abusive. So
Yep. So going forward, we'll probably recap more tournaments if we have them, or go through an affiliation. Does that sound good with you guys?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure.
If you have an affiliation you would like us to go through, you can leave a comment. Other than that, I think that's all from us. Awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Hopefully, I think the next tournament I sent you guys is what
Um,
since
what's that?
September, but there might be.
October.
We got a September one I looked at, October, so hopefully soon we'll have more
Yeah.
tournament stuff.
I hope you guys enjoy my crudely changed logo here.
Oh, it's amazing. Don't change.
So until next time, keep it positive. We'll see you later.
Bye.